What's going on, everybody, and welcome on in to Garage Beers Live, episode 294, and we have got a humongous show. What is happening over there, Chad?
Sorry, I'm a little pumped up right now. That's all.
3 seconds into this podcast, and you are off the rails.
Yeah. I'm moving chords. I'm moving and shaking things, and I just got some great news before the pod. So I'm in. Let's go.
Can I intro the damn show for a hot second?
No.
All right, fine.
Okay.
We're off to a blazing start, episode 294, and if that is any indication, the show is going to be something. It's going to be awesome is what it's going to be. We have got 2 amazing special guests. Our buddy Mecca Don, who has just become a great friend of the show. He played Nostradamus last year, and he correctly predicted the entire college football playoff, like down to like the scores. We're going to ask him to do it again to kick the show off. Then we're staying down in the Columbus area. We're going to talk to a guy who really, so much of him embodies the Columbus Blue Jackets, a guy that's covered the Columbus Blue Jackets since their inception. Aaron Portzline is going to join us around 9:30. And then we're going to talk. Yeah, we'll talk about the Browns. Yeah.
We have to.
We'll talk about the Browns.
They can't hurt me anymore.
Yeah, we'll talk about them. I don't know we may just want to go to bed after that. We'll see what happens, but we're very glad you're here joining us on the OBR streaming network, the Orange and Brown Report, Cleveland's oldest, largest Cleveland Browns coverage site. Been going since 1999. So get over to the OBR, hit subscribe. And then on Wednesday nights at 9:00, we're going to put the Browns on the back burner a little bit. And you can hang out with us on Garage Beers and talk about all of our favorite sports teams. That's what we're going to do tonight. So we're glad you're here. Welcome on in. While you are following and subscribing, get over to the Garage Beers on the socials. Hit subscribe, hit follow over there so you can stay tuned with everything we've got going on. Joining me tonight, I'm your host, Michael Keefe. Joining me are my co-hosts on the east side of Cleveland, Chad Meyer, out in Seattle, Washington, Joey Whalen. What's up, boys?
Dudes, unbelievable news. I found out an email a little bit ago that I'm going to Bozeman this Saturday to work the Montana State FCS semifinals.
Hell yes.
Not only is it just a big semifinal game, but this is a heated rivalry that probably most people on this side of the country don't really know about. It's sick though, dude. They call it the Brawl of the Wild. They play for the Great Divide Trophy, which is a fucking sick trophy if you ever looked at it. It's a grizzly bear and a bobcat like racing up a mountain to grab a football.
Yes.
Like, it's awesome. So I am pumped to work. I mean, I've worked big games before, but I'm pumped to work like a heated rivalry game. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm excited.
It should be nice and warm up there in Bozeman, too. Like
I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm fine.
I don't even give a care.
Yeah.
Joe, what's up with you, man?
Trying to stay dry, dude. It's been pretty rainy here. If you haven't seen the news,
Yeah, it's been a little crazy out there, so I'm glad you're not
out here.
I'm glad you're not flooded.
Not flooded.
Hope positive thoughts out to everybody who is. But
Yes,
yeah, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here.
Rain in Seattle? No.
It's crazy. Isn't it?
Well, listen. Again, great show, but we're jumping right into it. We're gonna find a time where I'm kind of foregoing this. It's weird timing on the show, but we're quick moving here to start. And so we're actually going to start with our first special guest, and we're going to bring him in because he's behind the scenes, and I want to give this as much time as we can possibly give it. So joining us again for like the second time in just a few weeks, but for a big moment here. It's his big moment in podcast world. A man that's kind of done everything, an athlete, an entertainer, an entrepreneur, Mr. Do Everything, and just a legendary Ohio State Buckeye figure. We're bringing him back in right now. It's Mecca Don. Mecca Don, long time no see, man.
What's up, guys? Long time no see. Good to see you.
Yeah. Oh man, you feeling the pressure? You sweating? I mean, you got a lot to live up to here, dude.
Listen, man, I didn't think I was going to be doing this year in, year out, but I set a standard last year, and I think people want to see if I can do it again. So let's give it a run. Let's give it a run.
We've got a couple of these, Mecca Don, and so you may just be locked into this. We've got a sports writer up here, or a reporter up here in Cleveland named Cameron Justice, and she is awesome. Yeah. And she does the Browns schedule game with us every year, and we're just never letting her out of that contract. That's a lifetime contract.
That's my girl. She's cool peoples.
And I think you might just be locked into the lifetime college football playoff contract.
Yeah, it's there are a lot of worse things that could happen in life. So
Yeah, I
cool.
love it. All right, so listen, without further ado, again, just a little bit of backstory, but last year we had Mecca Don on right before the college football playoff. We were talking about Ohio State. They had just lost to Michigan. We needed a pick-me-up. Nobody better to give us a pick-me-up than Mecca Don. And he goes through and he correctly predicts every single game in the college football playoff, all the way down to like what the spread was.
Oh,
I mean, it was all the way down. You had Ohio State, Notre Dame in the championship. You said Ohio State would win by, I think you said like 10 or 11 or something like that. And it was just like, boom, nailed it, spot on.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put it to the test. We're gonna put your I don't know, psychic ability to the test. Your ability to predict the future. If you do this again, you may have to open up one of those shops with a neon light that says like fortune teller or something.
For sure.
Because we're gonna see what happens. But Mecca-Don, I'm going to flash it up on the screen now.
Okay.
And we're going to go through. This is the Mecca-Don college football playoff prediction. So let's put it up right now.
I love it.
And I know it's a little small, but we're going to walk through it. And we're just going to walk through game by game. We've already done ours. So we'll let you just kind of go through and I'll call out the game. And then we'll give you a little tidbits on the aftermath. But let's just start up here. Again, your top 4 seeds, Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech. So let's start out there in Eugene, and you've got James Madison going up against the Ducks.
Well, big mismatch right there, obviously. So I'm gonna go with Oregon. Let's not waste a lot of time on that one. But I got Oregon winning pretty big.
I would love it though. Like it would be wouldn't it be just we should count it as a win for JMU if they just go up 7-0 early in that game.
You know, somebody said yesterday they think they'll probably keep it close early, which is possible, man. But I think Oregon's out for blood this year.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I think so too. And great season, JMU. Congrats.
Yeah.
All right, so that would set up Oregon and Texas Tech. We'll come back to that. Indiana will be awaiting a rematch in Norman again, where Alabama lost this year. Oklahoma, Alabama. Does Alabama get revenge, or does Oklahoma beat them twice?
You know, it's funny. This whole week, I'd been thinking that I was going to pick Oklahoma to win this game. But the more I think about it, I think Alabama's going to get it done. When I kind of looked a little bit back at that game, there was, I don't want to say fluky stuff, but just a lot of missed opportunities from Alabama. And I think Alabama's going to get it done.
Ooh, even with the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks?
I do, yeah. I think that's motivation in a lot of ways, right? And they're still a very talented team. I like their quarterback a little bit better than Mateer. Mateer is good, but he's a little inconsistent. I think Ty Simpson is gonna show what he's worth this week. So that game's actually Friday, right? I think that's the first game, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. Is that the first game?
Friday. That's Friday, 8 p.m.
It is. Yep.
Oh, yeah, it is Friday. There. All right.
Yep. So first, I love that that's the first game. What a game to kick off with.
For sure.
For sure.
All right, so winner will take on number 1 seeded Indiana. That would be a heck of a matchup either way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the Grove and go to Ole Miss, where the Tulane Green Wave going to be another group of 5 team that gets in, taking on Ole Miss. This game has also already happened this year, and it was a blowout.
Yeah.
Ole Miss beat them. Is there a chance that could be any different?
No, I don't think so. Ole Miss wins this one pretty comfortably.
You're not buying into everybody that's saying, hey, Lane Kiffin left.
No,
maybe that's going to cause a problem.
It's interesting. Like, sometimes, people forget sometimes the value of actual players too. Right. And like they still have really good players and they have guys that have chips on their shoulder as well. So, and they still have some good coaches that have been left behind as well. So no, I'm not buying into that. Not at this stage in the playoffs for sure.
All right, so that would mean Ole Miss will go to take on Georgia, another rematch of a game that was really close this year. So that would be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Then you've got, I think, an intriguing matchup here. And I think we've been friends to this point, but I need you to say the right team name here.
I need you to say the
right team name here. Because Ohio State, the Buckeyes, are going to get the winner of the Miami Hurricanes and the Texas A&M Aggies.
So it's interesting because I've been going live on TikTok last week or so and just started doing that. It's been pretty fun, but this is a topic that keeps coming up. Who would I rather play as an Ohio State fan? Miami, we obviously have history with Miami. We want to. They are still salty with us, talking stuff about the 2002 game and how we didn't really win legitimately. But then you have Texas A&M, who's the SEC, and we want to shut up that SEC noise too, as an Ohio State fan as well. So, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, this game is at home for Texas A&M. That is a tough place for a team to get a win. I think Marcel Reed has a really good game, and I think Texas A&M gets it done.
Oh, we're still friends. We are still friends. Let me just mark this real quick before you change your mind. Bam. All right.
Real quick though, what do you think of that question? I don't like when people say like, "Who would you rather play?" Like you're gonna play a good team no matter what. Like who wins?
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't be. To me, when people ask that question, it feels like they're scared of somebody. You can't be scared of anybody, especially when you're the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I think particularly for this game, it's not more so who would you rather play. It's more so who would you rather beat. Who do you have
okay, there you go.
Wow.
Who do you have better bragging rights against? Who do you want to shut up more? That type of thing, I think, is for this particular game. But yeah, I agree with you. A lot of times when people ask that, it's kind of like, are you scared? No, I'm not scared of any team. But I think it's more like who would you rather beat and have to shove it down their fan base's throats? I think that's the question that we're really asking.
All right. So we're to the quarterfinals. And this is where things got wild last year because every single team that had a bye week last year lost. Now, obviously, they've restructured, and I think that will prove to make some differences. But let's see what Mecca Don thinks. I think this is a really interesting matchup. We talked about an Oregon team that you say is going to be out for blood this year, but this is a Texas Tech team that has been unbelievable all year long. So how do you see this game going in the Orange Bowl?
I think it's going to be a very close game. Texas Tech has a front seven that I think is really good. I'm just not sure how tested they've been this year. I think Oregon is an underrated team, and I think that they are flying under the radar in a way that I don't really think they should be, but I understand why. And part of it is history, right? It's just like the last thing people remember from them in the playoffs is getting shellacked by Ohio State. So I think that, that creates just, and just their brand overall. I think people don't really pick them to win big games. But I think that that's actually a recipe for real like bulletin board material, for just chip on your shoulder, the whole thing. So I think Oregon actually gets gets it done. I think that Oregon gets the W.
Oregon over Texas Tech in a close game. Yeah, that's a very hard game to pick. But yeah, I can't argue with anything you said.
Yep.
Then we go to the Rose Bowl, and I love that it's this matchup here. It just feels like Indiana playing in the Rose Bowl. I mean, that's awesome. Alabama used to playing in big games like this, but you're going to have number 1 Indiana, number 9 Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, so I know that like if you just look at the names, just like you said, like if you woke me up out of my sleep and told me Indiana was playing Alabama, I think almost 100 out of 100 times I'm going to say Alabama's going to win the game. I believe Indiana is extremely legit. I don't think that they're a fluke in any way. I think that they have been extremely dominant this entire season. They had probably one close game against Penn State, and that happens even in most national championship seasons. I think they're a legit number 1 team. I think they beat Ohio State fair and square. I think Ohio State could have done things to win that game, but I think Indiana won. There's no excuses coming from me. And I think Indiana gets it done. I think Indiana wins this game pretty comfortably, maybe by 10 to 14 points.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How big of a loss do you think it is for them for Daly to be out? That really good defensive end.
Man, I think it's a big loss, but I don't. With teams like Indiana, it's like the I don't know what you say, like the sum's bigger than the parts or whatever. Like I feel like they're just one of those teams that is so well coached. The guys just play hard and they'll figure out, and I trust their coaching to figure out, you can't replace talent all the time. I get that, but they'll figure out a way to get it done, man. I just really trust in what they have going on over there.
All right, so that sets up a semifinal matchup, a rematch, Indiana and Oregon. That was the big story really all year, was the fact that Indiana went out to Eugene and got a win convincingly over Oregon. That sets up a rematch there. I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are there. But let's move down here. Again, this was a 1-score game in Athens between the hedges, between Ole Miss and Georgia. Now we get it in the Sugar Bowl. Does moving it to a neutral site make it closer, or how do you see this going?
Man, I think this is going to be a tough game. But I just trust Kirby Smart in these situations. I hate to say it, but he figures out a way. Yeah, he figures out a way to get it done. So I think it will be a close game, but I do think Georgia will pull this game out late. In fact, Ole Miss might even be up going into the fourth quarter, but I think Georgia finds a way to pull this game out.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to be mad at you. I know what's coming here, Megadon. I know what's coming, Megadon. But A&M, fresh off their win over Miami, goes to the Cotton Bowl down there in Texas, where it will be wild with Texas A&M fans. However, it'll also be wild with Ohio State fans. It's the Buckeyes. It's the Aggies. I think it's the first time they played since the Sugar Bowl in 1998. I think that's the last time these two played. Ohio State won that game. Do they do it again?
Yeah, well, so I was at the Cotton Bowl last year when it was Ohio State versus Texas. And, you know, obviously it's like, gosh, why do we keep having to play the Texas teams in the Cotton Bowl, you know? But and Texas fans showed up like crazy. But I don't think people really understand A&M is a whole different breed, especially now because they're a little more spoiled when it comes to this type of thing. A&M being in this spot against the Buckeyes, they're going to show up in droves. It is going to be super loud there. But the good news, like you said, is Ohio State also will travel. We'll probably won't be the majority, but we'll definitely be in the building. I think Ohio State wins this game by about 10-14. I think Marcel Reed this is the thing. When I watch Marcel Reed, he has so much talent. But that game against South Carolina, and I watched that whole game from beginning to end, not just the highlights. It really showed me how flustered he can get and how bad he can actually look in certain spots. And I think Matt Patricia is going to dial up some stuff that he just probably hasn't seen all year. And I think he's going to have a hard time. And honestly, that's a game that can get away from them. I don't think they're going to get blown out, but I do think that Ohio State wins that game and they'll be in control of that game for most of the game.
I will admit this as a proud fighting Texas Aggie. I picked Ohio State to comfortably win this game too. So that's all right. All right. Yeah. All right. So now we're on to the semifinals, the rematch. We're going to the Peach Bowl down in Atlanta, Indiana, Oregon. How do you feel? Does Indiana repeat or is Oregon pissed and come out and take this game?
This is so crazy, man. I really want Indiana to win this game. Like, as a fan of college football, as a fan of the sport, as a fan of, well, I'll tell you that part later, but I really want Indiana to win this game. But it's hard to beat the same team twice. We all know that. And Oregon, I think, is, like I said, I think they're flying under the radar, man, in a way that is dangerous for a lot of teams. You know, I think that Oregon is so talented. I think that they got like 2 or 3 of their receivers back, Evan Stewart and a couple other guys that had been out for most of the season. So that's just more weapons that they have. I think Dante Moore is legit. I know some people, I mean, he has his issues too, but I think he's legit. I think Oregon wins this one in a close one.
Dan Lanning's going to take an extra Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's going to be
yeah.
Sure. Just get focused.
Or whatever that is.
I love it.
That's right.
Focus.
I love it.
So then we go out to the Fiesta Bowl. We've got Oregon playing for the national championship, and they're going to take on a matchup of 2 blue bloods, Georgia, Ohio State. The last time these two played in the playoffs, Ohio State missed a last-second field goal to win that game on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So Ohio State with a chance for redemption over the Bulldogs. But again, I'm with you, Mecca. Kirby Smart has me terrified in the playoffs. So how do you see this one going?
So I was actually at that game.
Sorry.
And it was just so weird because the whole game we kind of felt like Ohio State was really in control of that game and was going to the Marvin Harrison situation happened and then everything changed. And that was just terrible, obviously, refereeing and stuff. But then the kick was literally right at midnight, like as the clock up 12 for New Year's. And everybody was just kind of like, it was like half of the stadium was celebrating and the other half was kind of like stunned, you know? And so I'll never forget that feeling. And I think Ohio State obviously hasn't forgotten that feeling as well. The other thing was that game was, you know, and it was in the Sugar Bowl. So it was Georgia fans were there by the droves. This one will be out in Scottsdale, right? You said Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little bit more even in terms of that. So there won't be as much of a home field advantage. But I think Ohio State is also, believe it or not, now, weirdly enough, flying under the radar. I think there are a lot of people that are actually doubting Ohio State in some ways or are a little bit skeptical about them because of the loss to Indiana. And part of that is because people don't believe in Indiana yet still. believe it or not. They're still kind of like,
Yeah.
Indiana. So I think Ohio State has a chip on their shoulder, and I think Ohio State beats Georgia. It'll be close, but I think they win probably by about 7 to 9 points.
I want to get your thoughts real quick on it because I'm wildly curious about the Julian Sand bounce back. Right, I think he's going to be great, but it's also his first time bouncing back from some sort of adversity. Right, we lost that game to Michigan, we lost to Oregon last year, but we had a fifth-year quarterback experience in all sorts of big games. So what are your thoughts on him bouncing back?
Great question. I think who I trust more than anything in this scenario is Ryan Day, right? And I think that maybe you asked me this question last year exactly at this time, there might have been a little skepticism there, but what he was able to do in terms of rallying the troops, yes, part of it was that Will was a senior and a veteran, but Will had never been in that type of spot before either. If you think about it, he was pretty much a first-year starter in that type of environment. I mean, he was at Kansas State. It was cool. I think they may have won the Big 12, but it was not like this with this type of pressure, right? And again, he lost to the team up north, which is a different type of pressure. So for Julian, although that game was meaningful, I don't want to trivialize it. It didn't really change that much ultimately. So I don't feel like he's like, oh God, I got to bounce back. And then also, if you look at it, if we make a couple different play calls in that game, we probably win that game. You know what I mean? Julian, he didn't play great, but he played well enough to win that game. So I don't think he's over there just like stewing in it. But I will also say this. I do think that some of the snubs that Ohio State has gotten, particularly how Julian Sand was treated at the Heisman ceremony, you've seen the images of like everybody crowding around all the other players, and then you go to his table, there's one reporter there, and then he finishes fourth in Heisman voting. It was kind of like you could tell that he didn't really feel like they were treating him like he belonged there. And then Jeremiah Smith, not winning the Biletnikoff. I think Ohio State secretly has chips on their shoulder. I mean, Jeremiah Smith tweeted about that, so it's not even like
he made it known.
So I think these guys are coming out for blood, and I think Ryan Day is the right guy to lead them through the moment. So I'm not worried about it at all.
I love how you brought up just such a clear memory of Ohio State missing that field goal in that Sugar Bowl right as the clock is striking midnight. We were over here at my house with my wife's family, and I just remember being like slumped in the chair, like, oh,
yeah.
And it was like half the people were like, Happy New Year. My wife was like, oh, came in for the kiss, the New Year's kiss, and I was just like, wow,
whatever.
It was so crazy, and then we all had to like walk back out of like to wherever we were going, and it was like Georgia people were celebrating, Ohio State people were kind of like, what the heck just happened? Like it wasn't even like we were just it was shock more than anything else. And then you even had Georgia fans telling us like, I don't know how we won that game. You guys should have won that game, that type of thing. And we knew whoever won that game was going to go win the national title. But I think it was one of those growing pains that's necessary for the legends. I always talk about that, man. Like you gotta, Michael Jordan had to go through it. He had to go through the Pistons, and Kevin Durant. You LeBron had to go. That's just how it goes. You cannot just win. You're gonna have to go through that pain, and I think that pain makes you stronger. And I think Ryan Day is just the different dude. So I'm excited to see how they perform in the playoffs for real.
All right, let's take it to the last game as we get ready to wrap things up here with you, Mecca Dom. But Ohio State, Oregon, a matchup we didn't get to see in the regular season this year. But again, obviously two programs that have gotten to know each other very, very well. Again, you got Oregon being led by a quarterback born and raised in East Cleveland, moved out here by me out in Elyria, a guy from this area, which has a lot of Browns fans talking, by the way, going up against obviously the hometown Buckeyes. So how does this game go?
Wow. It's crazy because I'm not sure who actually wants this game more between Oregon and Ohio State. I think Oregon fans, they think they want this game because they, Ohio State, they beat Ohio State last year and they're feeling themselves and they were number one and they came and got shellacked. So I think that they think that they want this game. And I think Ohio State fans actually want this game too, because Oregon fans have been pests. They've been really annoying this year. And also they're winning and recruiting. They're doing, they're annoying. They're a thorn in college football side. So I think this game is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a great game. I really do think that. Potentially with, even Oregon, being up at halftime, that type of situation. But I do think that Ohio State will ultimately prove to be the tougher team in this situation. And so
Get that on.
If you allow me, I am choosing My Buckeyes
Let's go.
to win the national championship by a score of 27-21.
Oh man, you look at check out the bracket again,
buddy.
This bracket was perfect last year. So check it out here before we get rid of it on the screen, because if somebody's going to be able to call it, it's Mecca Don, and he's got Ohio State going back to back. It's hard not to pick that Mecca Don, but your picks, lots of great sound reasoning behind them. So we'll see how this goes. For you, I will tell you, you had a documentary this year. If you go perfect on your bracket again this year, well, we need to do a whole documentary from here on out. We need to be in it, like a part of it.
Yeah, we'll follow you around.
100%. And you know, it's funny. Everyone's been telling me like since last year that like, man, if I would have bet with you last year, I would have made so much money. And I'm like, did I bet on myself again this year? Or will lightning really strike twice? We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited to see how it plays out. I mean, ultimately, outside of a couple matchups, I think there are great matchups. There are a couple of historic matchups. There's a lot on the line, I think, in college football, kind of college football supremacy between the SEC and the Big Ten for sure. I think those are storylines. There'll be some potentially SEC versus SEC matchups, potentially some Big Ten versus Big Ten matchups. And then ultimately the big story is, can Ohio State go back to back, and really back to back with a back to back is even parentheses because it's not the same team. It's two totally different teams, pretty much. And so if they can do that, wow, that's with Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sand and Bo Jackson and all coming back next year. My goodness, that would be a major storyline as well going in. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, again, doing this with you every year now after what happened last year, I am equally as invested in these games just for watching them to see what happens as I am to find out if you can just run it back and go back to back with perfect picks. So we're all rooting for you.
Well, look, we're going to find out as early as Friday, man. Friday night. So,
yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Mecca Don, we are up against it here, so we're going to let you back to your Wednesday night. But thank you for doing this with us. We appreciate you, as always, for coming on. We love having you as a friend of the show. Go follow Mecca Don Music on the socials, on X. But we appreciate you. We're watching for your picks, and we can't wait to see. Hopefully you're perfect again, because that means another title is coming back to Columbus.
I love it. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me. You guys have a good show.
See ya.
All right,
See you, Becca.
How about Mecca Don joining us as he does to talk a little college football? Really have a great time talking with him every single time that we have him on. And again, that was twice in like 3 or 4 weeks. So that was great. Listen, we're chugging along here. Maybe we're going to come back because I got a little college football topic that we got to talk about tonight. But we're going to come back to it because our next guest is here. We've got a stacked show. We've got multiple guests on tonight. And this guest feels like it took too long for us to have on here, especially with the amazing relationship that we have had in Columbus with the Blue Jackets, all the great Jackets guests that we've had on from the media, from the players, from the front office, and all of that in between. But we're going to talk a little Blue Jackets hockey, and it's a little bit overdue because there's a lot to talk about now with the way the Jackets season is going. And in order to do that tonight, we have got a man who has been covering the Columbus Blue Jackets since their inception, from the time they began all the way until now. And he's one of the most respected hockey writers, and we're lucky to have him here in our state of Ohio. We're going to bring him in right now. It's Aaron Portzline. Porty, welcome on in to the Garage Beers podcast.
Hey, guys. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're fantastic. It's great to finally have you on again. We love talking hockey, and I don't know that there's many better people to talk Columbus Blue Jackets hockey with than you.
Wow. Don't talk it up here.
Well, just a little bit. Just talk it up just a little bit.
No pressure.
So, Aaron, man, cover the Jackets since their inception. Again, we'll get into this year's team because I think there's a lot of storylines to talk about. But just about you a little bit. Again, we're here in Cleveland. We're on the OBR, which is a Browns network, except for our show, which we get to talk about all of our favorite teams. So for people that may not be familiar with you, you've covered the team since they started. What a journey it has been now as they started back in 2000. But just talk about how you got connected with the Blue Jackets and what's made you stay this whole time.
Yeah, it feels like I've been covering them since like the 1870s or something.
Yes.
That's ancient history a little bit. They're old now all of a sudden. They were new for years. They were the new kid on the block forever. And
Right.
now they have a history. Yeah, so I was covering baseball. I thought I was going to be a baseball writer. I was covering the AAA Columbus Clippers. I had a great relationship with Buster Olney, who you all know now. He was working at the New York Times then. I was covering the Yankees AAA team. So we hit it off, landed some scoops in the Columbus Dispatch, which didn't typically happen in the minor league ranks, but I had a blast doing it. Thought I was going to be a baseball writer, grew up with the sport. And then in 1998, the sports editor said, hey, there's a hockey team coming to town. What do you think? And I was all in, like so over the moon excited. They hired Michael Ayres, who had covered the Hartford Whalers, as the lead guy, which was really important for me. I needed it. And he and I covered the Blue Jackets. And this is back, guys, when newspapers had big readerships and huge budgets, right? Yeah. So literally we were at every game, home and road. Some of us, sometimes both on the road. We'd both do the draft. We'd both do the All-Star game. We would pick a conference for the playoffs, and he'd do whatever Eastern Conference series he wanted, and I would do whatever Western Conference series I wanted. It was just a real immersion into the sport. So I knew hockey a little bit, came to it as most people my age did in 1980. The Miracle on Ice team totally blew me away.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel like it's been 25 years. But what a thrill, what an honor, really, to cover the National Hockey League.
Oh, sorry. I thought Chad had something and said he had a cough. Now, again, in the interest of allowing our folks here to get to know you a little bit before we jump into the Blue Jackets.
Sure.
There's a lot that we've said over these years as we have gotten very close to the Blue Jackets, and they've taken us in like family, which has been great. And we've talked about so many of the things that kind of epitomize the Columbus Blue Jackets and the fans and the community and all that. And Aaron, there's not a lot of situations that more clearly demonstrate the Blue Jackets community than the one that you had. And it was big news everywhere. And just, it's one of the most fabulous stories, not the health issues, obviously, that you had to go through, but where the help came from, how the help showed up, and how your relationship with the team wound up being really a lifesaver for you. So for those people that don't know your story, if you could just share it briefly, talk about Lindy a little bit, and just what that really, now it's been a couple of years, and obviously the big reporting when it happened, but now your relationship with Lindy and moving forward and all that stuff. Just give us a little bit about that.
Geez, I don't know how to give you a little bit about that.
I know, sorry.
No, you're right. I mean, there's just so much there. Honestly, guys, it's still overwhelming to think about sometimes. And I realize how fortunate I am. What really made that story special, I think if you're in the business we do, you realize what the relationship is like between reporters and PR staff, often, usually professional. I should say always professional. But I wouldn't even say you're cats and dogs. You just have different ideas of what the coverage should be sometimes. Not even talking about Lindy or even really the Blue Jackets and myself, because I've known those people for so long that we have relationships that sort of transcend professional. But to have a person who works for the club be the one that steps forward. And for people who don't know, I needed a kidney transplant. I was in failing health. I needed a kidney transplant. I was on dialysis. And it turned out that the person who stepped forward to match for me was a Blue Jackets PR staffer named Lindy Knoll. So she brought me in. I don't know if you saw this, but under the guise of let's do an interview, end of season type interview. And she sprung it on me. And it was at a point where I'd had, lots of people I know, family, friends, had stepped forward to see if they were a match, and just one after another. Some of them got through the 5 hurdles and were denied at that point. Some got turned away quick. So it was reaching a point where, where is this going to go? Like, I'm on the list. Hundreds of thousands of people are on the list. That doesn't make me special, but you just don't know when it's going to happen. And frankly, if it's going to happen, right? And to have and I knew Lindy a little bit. We were friendly. We'd say hi in the hallways, but we were not the go get coffee types and let's have lunch together. We were pleasant, but not that. For one thing, she's like 30 years younger than I am. So, you know what I mean? So she sprung that on me. I thought she was gonna, I kind of thought something was up, but I thought someone was going to walk in from behind the cameras and totally surprise me. I did not realize that the person who was a match was the person sitting right next to me. So yeah, it was absolutely incredible. And we both decided that we would use this, whatever coverage it got, sure, celebrate the beauty of our story, because it is that, but also use it to raise awareness. So let me just say, if I can for a second, if you need one kidney, we all have one extra kidney, and it is a sacrifice. I don't want to make it seem that easy. It's something you need to think about, talk about. If you're religious, pray about it, do what you got to do. But you can save a life. There are over 90,000 people in the US alone waiting on a kidney. And so, she did it incredibly. There are people that have stepped forward and given them to perfect strangers. People who got tested for me and were not a match for me have remained on the list so that they will give their kidney to somebody they don't know either. It's incredible. So
yeah,
unbelievable.
There you go.
Unbelievable. Well,
thanks for asking.
Now we talked a lot about it, and obviously you guys have been recognized on national platforms. You and Lindy, but go back to that last part, because again, you go into it, she's 30 years younger than you. You didn't have that kind of a relationship.
Yeah.
But now you're carrying one of her kidneys. So has that relationship changed a little bit?
For sure. I mean, we're friends. My wife and I obviously are friends with Lindy and her husband, Chris. We know her extended family. We get together, this season's been intense, and I got to tell you, it's weird when you get to the rink and if I see Lindy before anybody else is around, I'm like, all right, quick one, boom, hug. Nobody can see this, right?
Don't let anybody see.
There's still a boundary here, but and she'll I'll make this short, but I'm deaf in my left ear. I got all kinds of stuff going on, boys. I'm deaf in my left ear, and she said something to me. This was like 3 months after the transplant, and I didn't hear her. And I said, "Oh, sorry, my left ear doesn't work." And she said, "I can't give you that."
Yeah, right.
She's got a quick sense of humor about her, so it's all good.
I love this. Just real quick in the comments, our buddy Chef Brian K. Just shout out to Chef Brian K.'s wife. Gave one of her kidneys to her brother.
Amazing.
So again, life-saving stuff here, but it's super inspirational, Aaron. And
thank you.
And we have again overdue to have you on this show, but we couldn't not talk about that for a minute. And,
for sure.
Thank you for sharing the message that you shared and inspiring people to do what Lindy did for you.
And thanks for asking. I appreciate it.
All right, let's get into a little hockey.
Yes, sir.
And let's start with this. When you get into a certain phase of a season, no matter the sport, you start to look for identities of the club. You start to look for the trademark identifying, features of a club that are stand out, that what separate that club and all that. And this has not been a horrific season for the Columbus Blue Jackets. However, they have an identity, and I'd be remiss if we didn't start with this, because it's going to get us all worked up. It's going to get Chad all sweaty and fired up. Joe's going to get mad about it, and he doesn't get mad about anything. But the identity of the Columbus Blue Jackets through the first part of this year, Aaron Portzline, has been, if the Columbus Blue Jackets have a 1-goal lead in the third period, it's going away. It is going away. It is automatic. Yep. And even in the game last night, where you saw just a weird goal that
Yeah.
tied the game. That is what's happening to them. It's not, it's weird goals, it's bad goals, it's lapses in the way that they're playing. But if the Columbus Blue Jackets look like they are coasting to a victory with a 1-goal lead with 3 minutes left or 2 minutes left or 1 minute left, the other team's gonna score a goal. It's almost automatic at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron, I'm going to need a heart transplant if I have any more hockey heart attacks when they have a goal lead.
Well, so like, I think we're at the point now, though, where whenever there's a plane crash, for the next 3 weeks, whenever there's a plane diverted, it makes news, right? Because you're on it. You're thinking about it and see it. If last night's game had happened in the 5th game of the season or back in October when this was not a problem for them, it probably doesn't even come up as a blown lead. I mean, technically it is, of course, but the goal that they gave up literally was scored off the back of the goalie's head.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I don't think they played great in the third period, and I'm certainly not here to defend their third period play. Just look at their goal differential by period, and you see it. I would have to update these from last night, but I believe they're +2 in the first, +2 in the second, and -20 in the third. So there's something there.
God.
Clearly, and it's not on. Guys, I think it's between the ears. I do, and
I was going to ask. That was going to be my next question.
I do. I mean, and I will say Dean Evison has had some, I'll say it nicely, creative decisions. He still does like last night they had 3 offensive zone face-offs in the third period, and the first line was not out for any of them. Okay. Now that's not entirely unusual if you're up 3-2 and you're a team that has had no issues shutting down games, and you can lock down a game, man, lock it down. But you need to keep scoring the way that this team has played this year. You got to keep your foot on the pedal. More than that, that sends a message to, I think, up and down the bench that we're trying to not give up a goal rather than to score a goal, right? There's been some other there have been a couple games where they're up by a game and coming out of a TV timeout. So everyone's rested. The fourth line is taking an offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah.
Like that's in serious lock it down mode, right? And even if that's, I just think that transcends just the physical application of what you're doing. It plants a seed with people that we're just here to not give up that goal. And you used to be able to play that way in the NHL. You could lock it down. You've not been able to do it that way for 10 years, like literally 10 years. There's just way too much skill on the other side. Now, every team up and down the league, they all have guys that can score on their fourth line. It used to be everybody that could score was in the top 6, maybe on the really good teams, the third line. Now there's guys up and down the lineup that can score. You cannot just say, and I always get kind of irritated when people are like, there's no reason to give up a goal in the first 5 minutes or the last 5 minutes of a third period or of any period. And I'm like, well, you can't do that. Like, why wouldn't you do that for the middle 10 if you're going to do that for the first 5 and the last 5? Like, it's not just automatic. You have to keep your foot on the pedal. And again, they insist that they have not instructed them to take their foot off the pedal, to just get the puck out and keep defending. They have not instructed them to do that, but it sure looks like that some nights. And I'll point out last night, the goal they gave up, the tying goal, as fluky as it was scored right after an icing, which is right. The Blue Jackets, they chuck it down the ice, face-off's coming back down here.
Yep.
And, those weird things can't happen if the puck's not in your zone 14 minutes out of the 20 in the third period or whatever it was. I don't think it was that bad last night, but it's been that bad in the past. So those are my thoughts on it. I don't know. I do think it's been something different every night. And not every night. I think there's probably 3 or 4 categories each of the blown leads fall into. There's only been a couple where I felt like they were just completely overwhelmed and frazzled mentally. And like in those games, it doesn't matter if it's a 5-goal lead. They're giving it up. That's just
right.
What it is. It's just what it is. And I will say this too, again, not to defend them, but Pittsburgh's going through this right now. Pittsburgh is going through this right now, maybe to an extreme that the Blue Jackets have in even endured. In the last week, they've blown some just unbelievable leads. And so when people are like, it's the veterans, and I'm like, well, God, like who has better veterans in Pittsburgh, right? Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Carlson. Like these guys have played 8,000 games between them. They've won between them. Like, so it does happen, but it is an issue on this team, and they have to get over it. I did a thing a couple weeks ago talking to 3 veteran coaches about what they would do, and it was fascinating. Just the different mental approaches that they would take, but they all agreed when you figure it out and you get on the other side of it, it's awesome because you know you can do it now, and that's no longer a weakness.
It feels like that, like those lapses, right, Aaron, are the one thing that's holding this team back from trying to reach their ceiling, because there's so much talent and so much skill on this team that it feels like that if they can just figure this out, they can ascend to that next level. But what is it? It might seem like a stupid question, but like, what's it going to take what does it take to break out? It does have to be mental, but like, it almost feels like they just have to do it. It doesn't feel like there's any like magic elixir. Like it feels like, oh, a lucky bounce has to go their way, or which is weird to say because they have the lead. So it's like, right. So it's like, I can't put my finger on what's it going to take to get over this. It's like, you just got to do it. Right.
Yeah. And I think there are certain things that they could do. One thing that I have to say that I've noticed is Dean Evison is much more emotive on the bench this year than he was last year. And I hear coaches say all the time, like, you can get bent out of shape in an official. You can lose can I cuss on this podcast?
Yeah.
You can lose your shit on the bench, but you got to get it back together again. And you've got to be the one that is under control, not the veteran players. Sure. And that dude, he has reverted to like 1987 Dean Evison Hartford Whalers, where you're like, those guys where Derek Dorsey used to have these shifts. I don't know if you've talked to him, but where something would happen on one shift and he comes over the board and you're like, he's taking a penalty. I don't know what it is. He's taking a penalty. And there's probably going to be a fight here. Like, he's just so revved up. It's coming. And Evison was that kind of player, guys. He was insane.
Yep.
And so it's probably not a surprise. Probably not a surprise that he can't keep that inside, but it is. And I wonder if just dialing that back and showing some, I don't want to say poise because that's maybe too much, but showing some calm. We've got this. Like, we're good. I wonder if that could help. And just, man, I'm putting my foot all over Fantilli. I'm putting the pedal down, and I'm playing him.
Yeah.
I want guys like that on the ice. He's going to make mistakes defensively, but that dude does not. It doesn't feel like he feels pressure. Like, I'm going Werenski every other shift, which they kind of already do anyways. I'm going like Fantilli, Monahan, Coyle. Even if I'm moving one to the wing, I'm getting one of those guys out there all the time. Ken Hitchcock mentioned find 2 checking lines. Find one line that just loves, even if you got to mix them up during the game, find one line that just loves this stuff. You are not scoring. That puck is not getting over the red line in your possession. Okay, maybe. It's not getting over the blue line in your possession. Like, obsessed with it. Find that line, and they're going out every other shift for the final 8 minutes of the game.
Yes.
They're going to be fine. But that gets in their head that we can do this. That gets in the other team's head that, oh, shit, these guys are out again. And you got to find those guys and ride it. And I think it would help them immensely if it weren't a different thing on occasion. If it were them like peeing their pants every night as they've done just a couple times, I think that as tough as that would be, you'd know what to fix. And it hasn't always been that. So
it is, again, what you said before is absolutely stunning, especially when you look at the state of the Eastern Conference, right? Minus 20 for the Blue Jackets in the third period.
Yeah,
Which is outrageous.
it is. Played 33
So,
games.
When you look, yeah, right.
Right.
When you look at the standings, if you just glance at the standings, you see, if you look at the conference standings, you see the only team that has less points in the Eastern Conference than the Columbus Blue Jackets is Buffalo.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everybody else has either the same amount or more points. Having said that, though, if we try to bring this into optimism world a little bit, which I think it needs to get to,
Yeah.
should they be able to figure this out? Should they be able to find that team that we saw the back end of last year, the back half of last year, which is, I mean, I really think some of the best Blue Jackets hockey ever.
No question.
That team played the back half of last year.
Yeah.
If they can find that, get back to that team, and maybe it takes Dean Evison going back to stoic, looking like an asshole all the time on the bench, but that's what he does anyways, so we love him for it. And maybe that's where it starts and it grows. Yes, they may have fallen behind, but there's only 10 points that are separating them and the first place team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
This is a very bunched up Eastern Conference. And like Chad said before, some of this young talent combined with some of the really good veterans, like I think we're starting to see Boot Jetta really kind of round into shape. He's played much better lately. He had a great game last night. Werenski's always great, but some of these young guys really coming along. Everything is still right there. I mean, we're approaching the halfway point of the season, and it feels terrible the way that they've kind of given up so many points this year.
Yeah.
But they're right there. Everything's right there for them.
Yeah, they are right there. I will say, if you look at the standings 12 days ago, before they lost 4 in a row in regulation, they were much more compacted. And that little blip right there, the 4 straight regulation losses, it really pretty quickly opened up where they were 4 points out of 7th in the Metro, not 1 win out of 3rd. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it doesn't take long. What they were doing, as frustrating as it was, they were getting losers points. They, in a lot of cases, they were giving 2 to the other team.
Yes.
In some games they were blowing and recovering and winning, and giving losers points to the other team. But even when they were in that 2-5-4, or they were 2-1-4 before the 4-game regulation streak. So that's 6 points in 7 games. Now, it's a lot of losses, but there's points in 6 of 7 games, 8 points total. But you're still treading water when you do that.
Right.
It's the regulation losses that, oh boy, kill you. That's another reason last night didn't feel like the others, because you gave Anaheim a point. Out west, who cares?
Right, exactly.
They'll have your point.
Right.
It's not somebody else in the East that's in front of you that's going to – I do have some concerns, though, about this team. It doesn't look like – well, since they stopped the goalie rotation, Elvis has an .843 save percentage. Obviously, you can't. You just can't.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great, Aaron. Not great.
Yeah.
I imagine it's probably been a decade since he's been a backup, even in Europe. That's a situation that they may need to remedy, because as much as Jack Reeves is great, he should probably be playing no more than 40, 41 games this year, half a season. So that's something that needs to fix. That's not going to be easy. I worry. Chinnikov looks like he's starting to come on a little bit. That's been a really good sign. That needs to continue, because that's a top 6 forward in-house. That could be. He for sure has 30-goal talent, for sure.
Yes.
And it's starting to awaken. That's a good sign. See if it can go. Kent Johnson's a real concern.
Yes.
For me, they've told him to just chill out. Don't worry about the points. Go to the 4th line. Skate your butt off. He's off the power play, but they played him in overtime last night. Like, it's not punishment. It's just clear your head. It's not about points, just you be you. But those are 2 top 6 forwards that have not produced anywhere near top 6 forward type production this year. That's a concern. Those guys have to get going. That's the push. There's a lot to like. One of the reasons I think they've remained competitive is this team is as strong down the middle at center ice as they've ever been. And that is, if you've got strong centers, you can fill in on the wings a lot better than a team, as they've been for most of their existence, searching for people to put in the middle.
Right. Oh, yes. Yeah. Face-offs have been an issue for this team in the past, but not so much this year. It's really nice to see. Now, I want to go back to what you said about Elvis real quick, Aaron. And, I agree that Jets should probably play about 40, 41 games this year, but given the way Elvis has played, and not just this year, but like the last couple of years, can you afford and especially given the overtime losses, everything that you're taking on right now, can you afford to do that right now, to go back to him for a few more games outside of Jet with the way he's playing? Or,
I mean, the only option you've got in-house is Ivan Fedotov playing in Cleveland right now. He's been pretty good. He's played in the NHL with Philadelphia. That wasn't great, but it was his first time in the NHL. He's been pretty good in the AHL. One thing I never really grasped until I talked to Fedotov in Cleveland probably a month or so ago is how difficult that league is for goaltenders, because the schedule in the minor leagues, it's like they play games when people can come to games. There's not a lot of Tuesdays, Thursdays, right? You're playing intense Friday, Saturday, sometimes Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Well, goalie's not going to typically play both of those back-to-backs. So in some cases, you're playing one game a week. That's a really hard way for these guys to get to their game, as they say. So you kind of look at a lot of their numbers with a grain of salt. He's at 901. He's played pretty well. The little I know of Fedotov, he's looking at the situation in Columbus and saying, I better be ready to go. I better be hanging good performances because there's an opportunity. Now, that would mean putting Merzlikins on waivers. That would mean sending him to Cleveland and seeing if he shows. I guess he would show. He's got a contract. He wants to get paid. But that's a statement. That is a statement to the team. If they were going to do it, I would assume they would have done it after Elvis's last start. So we'll see where it goes. But they cannot abide an .843 save percentage from the backup. Not this year. Not as packed in as everything is schedule-wise.
Aaron, I'm going to ask you a question that I have brought up to a lot of people regarding a few of the teams that we cover, the Blue Jackets being one of them, certainly the Browns here in Cleveland. You've covered this Blue Jackets team. I just think this is a fascinating thing to get a lot of perspectives on. You've covered this team since the inception, which means not only have you seen all of the Blue Jackets hockey, but you've seen all of the other hockey that's gone on around it. And you've seen teams come from places and win championships, and you've seen teams fall apart from contending, and you've seen dynasties be built and fall apart and all of that.
Sure.
And the reality is, Aaron, that for 25 years, as much as we love the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we do, they've never competed for a Stanley Cup. Never.
Nope.
They've never come close to competing for a Stanley Cup. And the only thing that Columbus hangs its hat on as an organization is they've gotten out of the first round sometimes. Yeah. And so my question for you is, what does it take? What are they missing? What is going to be the thing? Because now we're seeing this collection of talent, all these top draft picks, and they're willing to go out there and pick up players, and they've earned a good reputation as an organization, as a place where you want to go play. That was exemplified by Johnny Gaudreau, but it's also exemplified by the amount of players that come play there and then live there for the rest of their lives. There's a lot going for it. What is the thing? What is the thing, in your opinion, that makes the Columbus Blue Jackets not just a team that flames out and gets happy after one playoff appearance, but instead competes for titles?
Well, I don't think that there's one thing, but I would say this, like that, they sold their soul for that 2019 team at the trade deadline. They went all in.
Yeah.
And it got them to the second round, got them, I believe, a 2-0 lead or 1-0 lead against Boston. They were up early in that series.
Yep.
They still think that team, if it didn't play Boston in the second round, could have gone deep. It didn't. Okay, it didn't. Second round.
Right.
What happened next is why there wasn't a similar run the next year, right? Bobrovsky left, Panarin left.
Yes.
That team still made the postseason, still beat Toronto in the qualifying round, still competed its ass off. But you can't take a 90-goal scorer and a Vezina Trophy winner out of your lineup. And really, drafting, player development, and player retention have been this team's struggle. It's struggle. And I said for years before this current rebuild, they've never really rebuilt, honestly. They have had seasons where they've played like a rebuilding team, but they've never completely gutted the roster for first-round draft picks and said, we're going to suck for 3 or 4 years. We're going to load up on the Stamkoses, the McKinnons, these guys, and we're going to go for it. Every time they kind of did it halfway, and they'd be picking 7th in the first round, 6th in the first, not the guy. And even this last one, like they've got a lot of young talent right now. I think Fantilli. I don't think people recognize how big of a badass this kid can be. Like I think he needs to be mentioned in that group of young star players. People look just at the points, but to recognize this guy's playing as a two-way center at 21 years old, the number one center, that's rare. So he's special. But you can look at this team right now and see Chinnikov struggling, Johnson struggling. Sillinger's a plus third line guy, probably. Maybe a second line guy in the right situation. I think if you step back and you look at this thing from 500 feet, you could argue it would be a decent discussion. Did they go low enough? Did they go down low enough? And the year that they had the worst record in the league, they didn't have the first pick. Right?
Of course.
I mean, it's been that kind of stuff that they have absolutely no control over. They still got Fantilli, which I think is great. But so many years it's been, there are 3 players in this draft, and the Blue Jackets have the 4th pick, right? It's been that like every year. Good players, but not Celebrinis, not Bedards, not these guys that are just bad dudes. And they've had some great talent that Pierre-Luc Dubois, like a hell of a player. It's not all in them, but he's their guy. They drafted him. Hell of a player. He's gone. He left. Wanted out. Seth Jones asked to move along when he saw where it was going after 2020.
Yeah.
Right. So they've had some special players that have not been able to keep it together. But why can't they get past the first round? Hell, they've or past the second round. I can only look at the only year that they got to the second round, and what fell apart after that is Panarin, Bobrovsky leaving. And then you've got a case when those guys are gone, you've got a whole room of people going like, well, what am I doing here? Like, what are we doing? And they tried to keep it afloat, and you just can't let that go out the door and expect to be the same. Look what's happening to Toronto right now.
Yeah.
Like Marner leaves, and they're like, we'll be fine. And I'm like, hold on a second. Like, that's 100 points you just left. That's the guy that set up your 60-goal score. That's the guy that gains the zone for you on the power play. That's your you're not going to be fine without that guy. That's a huge drop off.
Okay, having said that, I mean, do you think that's what's going, because obviously there's this stigma going around that, Columbus can't retain players. Like you just said, like you just brought it up. Do you think that's, I'm not saying they should do it. Maybe they should. I don't know. Is that what's going to break the stigma? Because the idea that I feel like I see out there a lot is that this team needs to break it down to the studs, get a lot of young talent in here, start to win, because winning's going to cure everything. That's how you're going to retain players. Yeah. Do you think that's the plan, that the best plan to follow? I guess I don't know. I don't know what I'm exactly
not
what
right
I'm
now.
trying to say here.
Yeah.
Are there people who want to do that now? Like right now?
I think there are people who think that this team is stuck in the same place right now. So I think some people out there are ready to do it. But I don't know that that's the right course of action. Obviously, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I feel like there are people out there that want to.
I can guarantee you Don Waddell is not here to tear it down to the studs and start over with nothing.
And honestly, like if you look at their top players, you're looking at 24, 23, 21.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they're very young. They're a very young team.
Okay.
The one thing that concerns me, and I think a lot of GMs are a little disappointed in this too. This is probably the bad week to say this because there were just 2 huge trades last week, but it's really hard to make trades anymore. Like unless you've got like a Quinn Hughes to dangle out there, and people line up with huge packages, but those guys just don't come available very often. Like trades are much more financial based now than just what direction your team's going in and that kind of stuff. Free agency sucks anymore. It sucks. Like it's not.
Yeah, this was tough.
January 1st is not the celebration that it used to be. And right now, I think the top free agent available, and it looks like he's going to be, is Panarin, which that would be interesting. But the second name mentioned is Bjorkstrand. And I got nothing but love for Oliver Bjorkstrand, but he should not be the second guy mentioned. So what I'm saying is trades are hard. Free agency isn't what it used to be. So you have to, if everybody else in the league is keeping their guys, you got to keep yours. And so I think the real test for Waddell is going to be like he got some pretty favorable contracts from Marchenko. That's going to be interesting. Fantilli's up. He's an RFA this summer. You better believe with all that cash across the league that an offer sheet is a possibility. I hate to say that. I don't think it's likely because they're so rare, but I could see it. I think Fantilli wants to be here. I'll take him. I think he's a man of his word. And I totally get why he didn't want to negotiate last summer. Doesn't want to do it now. Let the market go. If you're him, why would you take a deal based on today's money situation when it's going up so high? But those deals, getting Fantilli extended, when Marchenko extends, like those are going to be $8 million guys. They are.
Yes.
And if you go long-term with them, they're going to be more than that. If you're buying UFA years, it could approach 10. So those are some big tickets. To me, that's taking the temperature of the franchise right there. If you can hang on to guys like that, because those guys, it is when you're in a rebuild, it doesn't always just go like this, right? Last year had such an emotional attachment to it. Every guy had both hands on the rope. Everybody was pulling as hard as they could.
Yes.
And they did really, really well. I think it's only natural to think, boy, we did pretty well last year. One hand on the rope, let the other guys give it a tug right now. Like, I shouldn't say it that way, but it's not quite as a desperate situation as it was last season. And I think you're seeing that a bit now.
All right, Aaron, we really appreciate your time. I just got 2 more for you. Then we're going to let you get back to your night. But 25-year anniversary of the Columbus Blue Jackets this year. You've been, like we said or mentioned earlier, you've been covering them since their inception, right? And we've even talked about some of it as we've gone through here during the interview. But I want to know, what are some of your favorite moments that stick out to you over the last 25 years?
Oh, man. That's a big one. Yeah, I mean, God, where to start?
So there's this person named Lindy that works for the Blue Jackets.
Right.
She's great.
That was a great moment.
Yeah, it was a great moment. I mean, the first game in franchise history, if you know what it is to live in Columbus and to have that inferiority complex that all Columbus residents have, huge moment, right? No disrespect to the crew, the Columbus crew. They were here before the Blue Jackets. They are professional soccer, but they're not the English Premier League. They're not the best league in the world, right? This is the best league in the world. And now Columbus, Ohio, instead of playing West Lafayette in Bloomington and Ann Arbor and East Lansing, they're playing in Los Angeles, Chicago, Toronto, Montreal. Like, that's just different. Though the building those first couple of nights or first couple of years, that building was just incredible. like every night. It was such a point of pride. It was such a new thing to so many people. I still run into people who are still coming. They've been season ticket holders from the start.
Yeah.
Obviously. So that was incredible. I mean, the first time they made the playoffs was fantastic. I love the early teams too, and I've heard some of the older players talk about this, how the crowd was so into it early, where they would just be getting absolutely housed by somebody, and somebody would ice the puck, like send it down the ice, like, good God, give me 20 seconds to breathe here. And the crowd would cheer like, hey, good job, boys. Like, they just love the effort, even though they were getting completely destroyed. They used to be icing. When they beat the Lightning, right? That moment in like game 3 when you realize they don't have an answer for this team. That's powerful stuff. And in game 4, when there are people like taking pictures of the scoreboard, kind of looking around like, is this what it is? Like,
are we doing this?
It had been so long, right? They'd waited for it for so long, almost 20 years, that it was just such a magic moment. The outdoor game was incredible.
Oh,
I could go on for hours just about some of the people that have come through here. Some really impressive, incredible people that I mean have made my life richer for sure. Just having known them, what a thrill! Kid from Mount Vernon, Ohio, covering John Tortorella, covering Ken Hitchcock, covering Dave King. Like, what are you talking about, right? Like, John freaking Davidson, right? That guy was one of those dudes in the 1970s. To the idea that I would be, not working with him, but interacting with him for work is just Sergei Fedorov comes to town. Like, what? Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that kind of stuff, and people away from the game. Like, there's so many. It is a great game. All the NFL is awesome, and the people who cover it are awesome. We can't get too carried away. Hockey is incredible. Like the way that the league handles itself, the way that the people I've been, again, blessed to know for years in this industry, it's incredible.
All right, and then there's one more. All right, I didn't get a chance to read it, but I came across it, and I'm just curious. I'm just curious about the story. Jarmo Kekalainen, former Blue Jacket GM, now just named the GM of the Sabres after Kevin Adams out there got let go. But I came across it. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to read it, so I'm curious about the story. But you spent a few days with him in Finland and made a fool out of yourself in a sauna?
Totally.
Oh, yes.
Not in the way
That's what we're all here for.
Not in the way you're probably thinking.
Yeah.
So he has a cabin in the north of Finland. Well, it's actually not really the north of Finland because Finland goes way the hell up there. But it's like 4 hours north of Helsinki. So my family's on a vacation in Italy. They were heading home. I flew from Venice to Helsinki and then took a train 4 hours north to this little town called Kuopio, where Jarmo has a cabin
with a pickleball court.
Oh yeah, right. God. It's like a 4,600 square foot.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely gorgeous, looking out over this pristine lake.
Made of logs.
Incredible. So he takes me on a tour of the place. You walk out the back of the house, you go down the steps, and here's this like freaking perfect. It's like I guess you'd call it a guest house. And attached to the guest house is the sauna. And then I forget how they pronounce it. But you step out of the sauna and there's the lake. So you go, and I didn't know any of this. You go sauna, lake, 4 or 5 times.
Sure.
Shower, and you're good. Not a lake guy, but there's also a shower there. He handed me what's available in America now, but it wasn't then, called long drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had him with him.
The stuff they sell here, really good. Not quite finished long drink. It's a little better over there, but maybe it's just there. Anyways, so he says, why don't you go do the sauna? You're going to love it. And I'll get working on dinner and just come up when you're done. Okay. So I go down to this immaculate sauna, and I sit in there and roast my ass off for about as long as I can take it, like 20 minutes. Get out, shower, dress, walk up, and he's like, "You're done already?" And I'm like, oh, God, dude, I was in there for like 20 minutes. It's like, you're supposed to go hot, cold, like 4 or 5 times. And I'm like, I had
sorry.
no idea.
My bad.
What's for dinner?
Yeah.
How much water did you put on the rocks? Water?
What? Huh?
Rocks? Like, oh my God. Like he was completely offended.
I poured my long drink on there.
Yeah. Because I don't know, you guys probably know this, but in Finland, like it's like more than 50% of homes have saunas in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just a thing. That's what they do. So yeah, I don't think he's ever looked at me the same. He's very disappointed.
Luckily, you're not going to be covering Buffalo anytime soon.
But yeah, Yarmo's a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
Hell of a guy. And we certainly had our times down the stretch. It's always difficult when you start to see it unraveling, but he's a really smart guy. I hope he surrounds himself with the right people. I think second GMs are better than first GMs. That's just usually how it works. And I wish him nothing but success in Buffalo.
We're right there with you, although he still owes Chad a pickleball game.
Come on, Yarmo.
Are you sure you want that, Chad?
Oh, I want that smoke. I want it.
Okay. Are you good, Chad?
No, but I'm supremely confident in my athleticism.
Okay.
Hey, listen,
I saw Yarmo hit tennis balls with Kimmo Timonen, the great NHL defenseman who was over in Kuopio at the time. God, those guys were going at it. Timonen said to me later, I said, we're a couple of those out. Like a couple of those looked a little long. And he said,
totally.
It's just easier. Like Yarmo, he'll go crazy. He's so competitive. Like he will not let it go. So if it's an inch long, I just kind of let it go.
I will probably need so many saunas and cold plunges after it, but I will play him. I will try my hardest.
Yeah.
Listen,
he's a really good athlete.
Feed Chad about 4 long drinks, and he'll take anybody on.
The first 2 just relax you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's that tip over point. Like in golf, it's usually like the 12th hole where you're just like, shit. Like this is, yeah.
Bring it on.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, hey, Aaron Portzline, again, long overdue, but incredibly enjoyable and incredibly in-depth. And thank you for all of the amazing insight and in-depth answers and looking at this Jackets team again. I think a lot of Jackets world right now is concerned about where in the hell we are going here. But again, there are those reasons to say, okay, there's a lot of talent on this team. Let's move forward. So thank you for everything you did. Thank you for sharing your story about you, Lindy, the transplant, all that. That was wonderful. Yeah. And we really appreciated having you on.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you asking me. Let's do it again sometime.
We will definitely do it again. 100%. We appreciate you. And go follow Aaron Portzline for all the most in-depth Jackets news. He writes for The Athletic. Aaron, again, we'll talk soon. And thank you for coming on with us.
You bet. Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
You too, Aaron.
Okay. The way he just nonchalantly is like, I was just at Yarmo's house and he was like, I'll go make you dinner. Why don't you go sauna?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Who would have thought you needed to know sauna etiquette, though?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
And knowing Finland, it's probably like 48-ounce tomahawk elk steaks or something.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, or like salt brined fish that's just been sitting in a bucket for like a year. One or the other, you know. Nordic cuisine's not to be desired usually.
I went ahead and killed this elk with my hands. I want to get to a comment before he gets out of here because I think he's leaving right now. But our buddy Chris in the comments just threw out there just nonchalantly as he's talking to all of our other friends that his son is back from the Middle East.
Hey,
and he's going to be home. So shout out. Come on, Chris.
Let's go. Okay.
This is what I'm talking about. Have a Christmas with your son that's back from the Middle East.
I see what you did there.
I feel like I'm making an assumption about why your son was in the Middle East. But whatever he's back for, Hell yeah. Glad he's back.
Chris missed there was an MS in that name too. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. Wait a minute. Phil in the comments holding up a barrel-aged Great Lakes Christmas ale. Shout out. Speaking of that, guys, we never did our garage beers of the week.
What?
No, we just kind of got right into it.
Oh, Chris's kid in the Marines, serving overseas in the Middle East. So yes, thank you, Chris. Thank your son for his service. Chris. That is awesome, and glad he's coming home. Let's do our garage beers of the week. So, Joe, what do you got happening over there?
This is Vertigo Brewing from Hillsboro, Oregon. Vertigo IPA.
Right.
Not just kind of naming the IPA after their little spot. It's got a nice sky, looking at the mountains and
okay. Very calming.
Beer. Quite a heavy
very
beer.
calming scenes.
Very calming scenes.
It looks like it's going to be just a delightful, piney West Coast IPA.
Yeah, it's all right. I've had better, but it's good.
I've had better.
Chad's favorite.
I've had better.
You would actually like this one, Chad, because it's not overwhelmingly piney. It's just kind of a beer.
No, I would hate it. It should get blown to smithereens. Any West Coast IPA should get blown to smithereens.
Chad, what are you drinking?
Sierra Nevada Celebration Fresh Hop IPA.
All right. What?
Yeah.
Is that not a West Coast IPA?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Fresh hop. Fresh hop.
I don't think you know what that means.
Yeah. No, I don't.
I think you're drinking a West Coast IPA, buddy.
Am I? Well,
I think you are.
Wait. Let me see it. Let me see that.
It's Sierra Nevada. It's from California. Yeah. It's the fresh hop IPA. That is definition West Coast IPA.
That's West Coast, baby.
All right. Well, I had about 5 beers before this, so I couldn't taste it anyway.
Atta baby.
Taste buds are nullified.
So there we go.
Atta baby.
Yeah.
All right, I brought it local. I'm bringing it back to Cleveland. And we got Butcher and the Brewer, which I don't really see their beers in the store hardly ever. And I usually like their beers. It's the one on East 4th. Oh. It has the albino stout, which is delightful.
That's the only one I see. I was about to say I've seen one in the stores, but that's the one I see.
And their albino stout is
tasty,
phenomenal.
Yes.
But I'm in the store today, and I've got Spice Baby.
Ooh. All right.
Spice Baby.
No, mine goes dun 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 dun.
Oh, look at that. Just a delightful
all right
style ale.
Reddish.
It's so good. I don't know why I just tasted it like I haven't had 4 of them. That is a spectacular Christmas beer. So shout out Butcher and the Brewer. We've got other people having their drinks. Gregory having Keystone and some ice cold Don Julio.
He's always double fisting something awesome. Like it's like Keystone, it's like Keystone and Don Julio, and then next week it'll be like Bush and Jaeger.
Yep. Chef Brian K said eggnog in the house. Not really. I made homemade eggnog this week, and it is delightful.
All right.
Great.
I got an eggnog drink for next week. I'll bring on the pod.
All right. I just all kinds of good stuff. So shout out to everybody for their drinks. We haven't done asshole of the week. Do we have assholes? Do you guys have assholes you came in with? All right. Why don't we do that real quick? We're going to do like minutes. We're going to like break the next 10 minutes up into just like quick minutes, segments, check-ins, if you will.
You always say that, and it always goes longer.
I'm trying my best. Chris is trying to go to bed. He's got his son's coming home. He's trying to go to bed. I'm trying to help people get out of here.
Yeah.
Asshole of the week, Chad.
Mine's Joel Klatt. Dude, you saying that the NCAA tournament is the worst tournament. Stop it. Okay, stop it. It is. It's absolute nonsense. Like nobody wants to.
I like Joel Klatt.
I do. I like him a lot. But dude, stick to your sport for God's sakes. Nobody wants to see Cinderellas. Are you kidding me? Everybody loves an underdog.
Is he talking about the basketball tournament?
He's talking about the basketball tournament. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He says it's the worst because all anybody wants to see is the best teams going at it. No, that's the NCAA tournament is for upsets early, big dogs later. That's exactly what it goes after, right? All the upsets early, yes, it eventually gets to the big dogs. So you eventually see all the best teams going against each other. No, everybody loves Cinderella stories.
What is the best part about the NCAA tournament is that it filters out those fake contenders.
Yeah.
Those teams that come in as 3, 4, 5 seeds that you think, oh, they could make some noise. No, the hell they can't. Bam, 12-5 upset, pick it every time.
No, everybody loves it. It's the best part about it. Like a win or go home every game. That's what makes it so intense.
Now, the absolute worst regular season sport of all time is college
100%.
basketball.
100%.
Yeah, but it
College
makes up
basketball.
for it with the tournament.
Yeah, college basketball regular season is I don't watch a minute of it. I don't watch a minute of it. It's nonsense. But conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament, yeah, no, I'm watching all that.
Yeah.
Joe, asshole of the week.
Diego Pavia.
Yeah, that was mine. So why don't we just tag team that?
Yeah, it's just tag team that. What a douche. I've never seen as big of a sore loser to the Heisman Trophy ever. And this guy's like not draftable. Like, who would want this guy on your team?
One, the fact that he was the runner-up for the Heisman is outrageous.
That's number 2.
Fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
That guy wasn't the runner-up for the Heisman. Shut the fuck up. No shot. You got one game. I don't know why we're even doing this. And this is not even to be an Ohio State thing. I got one game, and I got either Julian Sain or Diego Pavia. Who am I picking? It's not Pavia. Ever. I don't even think about it. I don't even think about it being Pavia. Yeah. And then for him to go out, I mean, it's like he was like, I saw the way Johnny Manziel handled himself, so I'm going to do that because it worked out.
Oh, my God. Yeah, cool. He looks like he's into a little bit of Johnny Manziel stuff himself when Johnny Manziel was in college, by the way. He looks like he's walking around a little bit too snookered up all the time.
Well, he's friends with Theo Von, so he's really cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. He's the mock turtleneck walking into a UFC event. Mock turtlenecks. Fucking losers.
Yeah, he's got Theo Von stalking, what's that girl's name? The singer?
So he's banging his mom. He's banging his mom. Theo Von's banging his mom.
No. But what's the singer's name?
Oh, yeah, Tate McRae. Yeah.
Tate McRae's got him like stalking her online. This dude's a douche.
Yeah, that guy sucks. That's a big, I don't know. He's probably not going to get drafted, right?
He's going to get drafted. Of course he is.
Big miss, Cole Sillinger. Sucks to be you, bud. Sucks to be you, bud.
Right. I don't know. That the whole thing, the fuck Indiana thing. Listen, I'm with you on that. Fuck Indiana. But it's not because I didn't win the fucking Heisman. What are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah. And too bad, Mendoza's like the nicest guy in the world. And you literally can't say a bad thing about him aside from his post-game interview. That was a little meh. But
also bruh. I had to hit it. Yeah, you got to hit him with the young fella, bruh. You play football at Vanderbilt, douche face. Where do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
You're literally the laughing stock of the SEC.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. You might as well have played for Bowling Green, dude. What are we doing here? You bitch ass. The only big games you played, you lost. Whoa, whoop-de-doo.
He's gonna look so good in a Browns uniform next year. He sucks.
Amazing. It's gonna be great.
That might be the end of that literally might end.
That might be it. There's a shot.
That might be it.
Andrew Perry
don't ask me what team I root for. I'm just going to do fantasy football and root for everybody to lose.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah. He was my asshole. What a total asshole. All right, let's do just very quick check-ins. We promised it at the beginning of the show. The Browns just get bent over.
Bear down, baby. Bear down.
Yeah, they bared down, all right.
Yeah.
They bared right down on the Browns. Just there is a difference between what we're looking for and what we're getting. What we're looking for with the Cleveland Browns, and it starts with Kevin Stefanski, and I want to make that clear, and I have stood up for him every step of the way. Starts with Stefanski, moves on to his coaching staff, moves on to his players, but what we are looking for is a team that looks like they are ready to evolve, grow, take the next step, compete. And what we're getting week after week is a kick in the dick. What we're getting every week is a team that shrinks into itself, that shrivels into this little raisin sack of shit, that it's not getting better. It's not showing any signs of improvement. It's showing zero hope. It is this is, I have to tell you guys, I think, and maybe a recency bias at play here, but I think maybe one of the most embarrassing Cleveland Browns seasons I can remember. More so than last year, because you went in with Deshaun Watson. He sucked an ass. You didn't have a great backup plan to Deshaun Watson. You go in this year, you've got the whole fiasco with Flacco and Kenny Pickett, and you draft the two quarterbacks, and that's all fine. But you are one of the worst special teams units in the history of football. This is outrageously bad. You are a defense that, man, showed such fight throughout this entire year. You're going to have the sack king at the end of this year. But now you're giving up. This defense is giving up. This offense, it's not even about the fact that they don't have the talent. It's about that they don't have the creativity to put the talent that they do have in any sort of spot to succeed. It is bad coaching. It's bad playing. We went into this year going, yeah, they went 3-14 last year, but there's no way they can do it again this year. Fuck, they are about to. They're going to go 3-14 again. It's very embarrassing. It is very embarrassing the way this team has played.
You know, it's frustrating too, just how the North has played out this year. Like, if something clicked, like you could still be in a conversation this year for like the division, which would be crazy. If like 3 of the games clicked this year, you're talking about going for the division here in week 16 or whatever it is. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just done with them this season. Like, it's just, they're horrible. I like the season. I'm rooting for Myles Garrett's record and improvements from Shador. I'm not even mad that he had a horrible game against the Bears. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't know. It's his like 4th game. It's either him or Deshaun next year. So like, we have that to look forward to.
I'll take Shador all day.
I'll take Shador all day, but that's what, you're going into a season where there's going to be a quarterback battle between Deshaun Watson and Shador Sanders. And it's just like, what's there to look forward to at this time?
Son of a bitch, Pat. Son of a bitch, Pat Shea. No, do not get Diego Pavia. Jesus Christ.
They're going to, though. They're going to. They're going to.
Hey,
they're going to build.
We need another quarterback that's going to launch his girlfriend out of a moving vehicle on route or on Learnagel Road out here in Avon. That's what we need.
They're going to draft Diego Pavia, but like draft like weapons, right? They're going to draft like weapons with the first 2 picks, and then like draft Diego Pavia in the 3rd round. Like, that's going to be the Browns, right? This team, I don't have the bandwidth to get emotional about this team anymore. They don't deserve another red cent of your money, fans out there. They don't deserve another red cent, but they don't deserve another second of your time until they get shit together. This team just it not only finds ways to lose games, it finds ways to embarrass themselves and embarrass your city and embarrass everyone. Us. It embarrasses everybody that has to do with the Browns, from the fans to the players to everybody. That fucking, I put this also on Shador, but the fact that you didn't give the right play card, I know that's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but that kind of shit doesn't happen anywhere else. Anywhere else. Myles Garrett's going to shatter the sack record this year, the single season sack record. And we're going to be down 31-7 in that game, whatever game that is. Like, what's that celebration going to look like? It's not going to be anything to write home about. Oh, God, you have one of the greatest, most generational defensive players ever been. Oh, awesome. Great. You did? Myles Garrett? That's great. How many Super Bowls did you guys win at that time? None. 0.
Super Bowls?
How many playoffs did you win? Games did you win at that time? None. 0. This team is a 25-year-long dumpster fire. That's all they've been. And nobody's put the fire out yet.
They got the Browns, the Bills, the Steelers, the Bengals left. They're not beating any of those teams.
No.
Myles Garrett's going to destroy the sack record, and they're winning 3 games. They're winning 3 games. And here's the concerning thing for me. And I said this on my last show, and I'm going to say it again here. What I watched in that Bears game wasn't about a discrepancy in talent, because there is one, and that's fine. Bears offensively, much more talented. They built that offensive line. They got a number 1 overall pick at quarterback that's playing more like it. They were without Rome Odunze. I thought that would make a difference. It really didn't.
And they have a creative play caller.
Well, wait a minute. Defensively, really good football teams in Chicago. But that was what I watched. That was my takeaway. It wasn't even the special teams bullshit, because I've never seen something as bad as the Browns. Hey, Bajorquez, we're on the Chicago 45. What I want you to do is punt this ball 77 rows into the farthest spot into the end zone that you can. Let's give him a touchback, net 20 yards. You get a steak dinner if you do it. Hey, Bajorquez, see that weirdly painted area on the field? Just fucking boot the ball into that. That's what we want you to do. You get a bonus if you do that. Oh, I fucking hate that. But you nailed it, Chad. What I watched was why Chicago was so excited to hire their coach away from Detroit. I watched Ben Johnson and his offensive coaching staff call this game against this Browns defense that is still trying to be good, that just consistently kept the ball away from Myles Garrett. I know he got his sack and a half, but that's Myles Garrett. Consistently kept Caleb Williams out of trouble. Consistently got open running lanes for DeAndre Swift, who is not even that great of a running back. I know you stand up for him, Chad, but he's not. He's not. He is a Detroit Lions holdover, decent running back. And consistently found a way to get the ball to their playmakers in space for bigger plays. Consistently. It wasn't trick plays. It wasn't running fake jet sweep, reverse pass, Harold Fannin throwing the ball to fucking Luke Whippler down the field or whatever. It was just really good, aggressive, smart play calling. And then I watched the Browns. Running. Just, hey, it feels like the running play is called, hey, Quinshon, A-gap. That's what it feels like the run play is called. And Quinshon just runs into 7 defenders waiting for him in the A-gap. Or, hey, Quinshon, bounce it to the outside. It feels like that's what the run play is called. Doesn't feel like there's any creative blocking schemes going on. Doesn't feel like there's any creative ways to get Quinshon in space. And then the passing plays. You might as well call it, it's either the 3-5 or the 7. It's hey, Shedeur, take a 3-step drop and hit this guy. His one interception was caused by bad play calling and a really good play. The interception where the linebacker came over and batted the ball up and intercepted it, that was a really good play by Chicago. I don't fault Shedeur so much for that. Or, hey, we're going to drop back. We're going to drop Shedeur back 7 steps, but then every fucking route is 37 yards down the field. And there's no check down for this dude. So it's just chuck it deep and see what happens. The play calling for the Browns is horrible. It's horrible. And it's not a talent deficiency thing. It's the lack of somebody's fucking brain with this team to say, hey, let's try to take advantage of some areas we do have talent. Instead, it's like, hey, Harold Fannin's been good. Just throw him the ball. That is what it feels like. Mm-hmm. It's not like, let's get creative to get him the ball. It's just chuck him the ball. It is so bad. Shedeur had 3 interceptions in the game. One was terrible. One defender made a good play. It still maybe wasn't the right read because he had a guy going down the middle of the field that was open.
Yeah, and the linebacker sank back into coverage, and he just didn't layer the throw.
It was a good ass play by the defense. I don't kill him for that one. Certainly don't kill him for the one that hit fucking Jerry Jeudy in the face mask for a touchdown that Jerry Jeudy somehow lets the defender intercept. God, that guy sucks.
He's got to go.
Look, with this laundry list of these fucking receivers. Hey, congrats. Hey, Jerry Jeudy, I hope you're listening. I know you're not. I hope you're listening, though. Congrats. You are now in the same conversation with Dwayne Bowe and Kenny Britt. That's you. That's you. You're the guy that came here that was like supposed to be good and maybe had a good year somewhere else. You had one good year here. You,
still somehow got paid.
God, he's terrible.
Yeah.
We can say all we want. And Chad, this goes back to your point. Am I done giving my expectations to the Browns? Sure. I'm not done being a Browns fan. What am I going to do? What am I going to just not be a Browns fan? No, of course I'm going to be a Browns fan. Sucks. But I lived through a lot of shit in my life that sucks that I just have to deal with. This is just one of them. But the expectations.
Yeah. I can't.
You can't.
Yeah. I still watch every game. I still like, but it's not the emotion is gone. It is gone. Flat out. I mean, even my wife, I would sit there and go nuts and my wife would give me shit because like, are you on the team? Are you on the team? What's the matter? Why, if you didn't lose this game? I was like, no, you don't understand. But no, this year she's like, wow, you're just kind of sitting there. I said, yes, because I hate this fucking team.
I hate him too. I want to go back to a comment. Sean asked in the comments, so if you guys are Jimmy Haslam, where do you start? And I want to say this. I'm firing all of them.
Yeah, goodbye.
No.
I don't think I'm firing Andrew Berry.
Correct.
That's a different thing. I'm firing the whole coaching staff.
The whole?
Yep. Jim Schwartz, gone.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
Why?
Well, because that's going to be a proxy of firing your head coach. Your head coach is going to want to bring in his coaching staff. How many times does a head coach get fired that a coordinator stays on?
What are the coordinators? The head coach?
No, hell no. Hell no. Sometimes coordinators are just good being coordinators. I don't want Jim Schwartz as my head coach. No. But I it's the first time I have said it. I'm absolutely firing Kevin Stefanski. That he's quitting on his own team.
Yeah, he's mailed it in. 100%.
That is unacceptable.
Can we fire Bubba Ventrone first?
Can I fire him tonight?
First. Just because I feel like there should be a pecking order of these firings, and Bubba's got to go first.
Brother, somebody get Jimmy Haslam on here really quick so he can give me the green light, and then bring Bubba on, and I will fire him tonight.
Call him. Give him a call.
I would love
DM him.
Anybody have Bubba's number? I will call him tonight to fire him. But I'm on record now. Andrew Berry can stay. I like a lot of what Andrew Berry's done. I do think people are
this year.
But I do think people are bad at looking at things from a whole, and they always just want to pick and choose. The Deshaun Watson thing, clearly Jimmy Haslam had a hand in that. Clearly Andrew Berry had a hand in that. Clearly Kevin Stefanski had a hand in that, which is why I don't think Jimmy Haslam is just cleaning house. Having said that, so that's, for me, I think Andrew Berry has it in him to build a roster. Kevin is showing me quitter vibes, and that can't happen. Like that is immediately for me. You got to go. Yeah. I'm firing the coach, and I'm firing the coaching staff. And here's the thing. Here's the only thing, Chad, before I let you go with that. A lot of times when you say this, the next sentence that comes out of people's mouths are kind of like what Sean said, but he wasn't being like this about it. Well, who are you going to bring in? It's not like people are lining up to take this job. Who are you going to bring in? I don't fucking know. Somebody else.
Right.
Like that plays nothing. If I'm running the Browns, that is not my thought process at all. Well, yeah, but what if we don't get the guys that we want? Then we're going to find somebody else.
Right.
Because you don't just keep a guy just to keep him.
Because what's in front of me?
Right now, Kevin's doing nothing.
Yeah, because what's in front of me isn't working anymore. So, yeah, you got to let them go. You got to let them go. Someone's going to take the job. I mean, and not to mention, you don't know who you want either. You know names out there, the people that they're going to interview, but you don't know that you want them. You don't. Do you like guys? Sure, but are they going to work out here? You don't know until they get in here. Right. So you don't have a choice other than to trust in them to do the best job that they possibly can. That's it.
You can't. I would love to hold Jimmy Haslam at his word, and his word last year was when they asked him before this season, what's going to be an acceptable season, he said, well, they were 3-14 last year, and that's not going to cut it this year. Well, they're about to be 3-14 this year. They've lost to the Jets. They've lost to the Titans. They've lost to the Vikings. They've lost to the Bengals. They've lost to fucking everybody. They got a fluke victory. Here's the other guy I want fired. They got a fluke victory over the Green Bay Packers, and J-Dubs himself, J.W. Johnson, that guy is the douchiest of the douches. J-Dubs himself goes on and starts talking shit about the haters on Twitter.
Yeah.
Shut up forever. Shut up forever.
Yeah.
Talking shit after one win. Oh, where are the haters at now? Right here.
Yeah.
Right here for you forever. It is. We can act like we're not going to get emotional. We can act like we're not going to care, but we do care. I do care about the Browns, and I do care that we are now reaching to. Nobody should go through what Browns fans go through, and that's what I care about, Chad. It's not even about the players, the fucking coaches, the front office. But we look at these people. Look at these people in the comments. These amazing people that come on and do this with us, night in and night out, week in and week out. What the fuck? Why do these people have to do this?
Yeah.
Why do you have to be this inept? You get these guys into these conversations, into these press conference situations where they're protected and you can't ask the wrong question or you're not going to be invited back or whatever. I would love to have somebody come on this show and tell me why Browns fans should just be okay with putting up with this for 25 years.
No, you can't. There's nothing they would be able to say, right?
And
because
sorry, Jimmy Haslam, but you've been here for most of it now.
Yeah, you
this
can't.
Isn't new.
Nothing's going to get nothing. There's some secret vault, right? They're never going to be candid with you, right? They're never going to tell you that they won't have an answer that's going to please anybody, right? Because they're trained to do this coach speak, this media speak, this whatever, right? Because they try to keep things so close to the vest for no fucking reason whatsoever. Because they think they're gods in this town. And let me tell you something, after 25 years of this, they're not anymore. Okay. They're not, right. They used to be, they rely so heavily on the history of this franchise. Right. And, look at everything that they've done in the past. And they try to bring it up. Fix this current fucking football team. Fix my football team. I don't want to hear anything else out of your mouth except for transparency about how you're going to fix my fucking football team, and I want to see it put into action. That's what I want now. I don't want to hear any more of this. We got to get better stuff. Oh, Tony, I'm not going to, because that's all we're going to hear in this postseason press conference from Andy Berry. Well, Tony, we're not going to get into that right now. When you look at certain situations, they're just going to talk around the points like they always do. The Browns and the Guardians both fucking do this, and you're not going to get anything out of this. I need to see this put into action. I need to see a plan. I need to see shit fixed. And I just want a good football team in this town. Okay, I'm done.
But that's why things need to roll. And that's why this is the other point that came up. We were talking to Tom Withers on Inside the Browns Beat earlier. And Tom was talking about how he went through the red right 88 and the fumble and the drive and all that. And I said, I would kill for that.
Yeah.
I would kill for red right 88 right now. I would kill for the fumble right now.
I would kill to be the Steelers right now. I would kill to be 9-8 every year.
Well, no, fuck that. I don't want to be the Steelers. But
No, you know what I mean.
Nah, fuck them.
Fuck you.
But what I mean is, we look back at those times and they were given those labels, the drive, the fumble, all that stuff, right? And we're meant to look back at that as, oh, heartbreak city. And yeah, it was. It was heartbreaking back then. It was. But we all have to understand this, especially I know a lot of people watching us remember all of those things. It's nothing compared to this.
Yeah, it's not.
It is. I don't know what. Or my dog's in here and just trying to get out.
Nice.
It's nothing. The drive, nothing compared to the 2000s. The fumble, nothing compared to the 2000s. Red Right 88, a drop in the bucket of heartache. That is the 2000s. This is embarrassing. This is sad. It is. Where lower can we go?
We'll find out.
Can we go?
We'll find out.
Apparently
I'm sure
we
we'll
will.
find out.
Yeah, apparently we will.
That's the most exciting thing to look forward to. Is we're not messing it up the same way every year. It's usually something a little different, a little different flavor.
At least they're consistent in losing.
Flavor consistency.
Yeah.
Shit. All right. I can't with them anymore. They're gonna lose their last 3 games. They're gonna be 3-14 again. And
then it's mock draft season, baby. Let's go.
Oh my gosh! But if they are 4-13, look out next year, man.
Oh wow, yeah. Then you can't take that. Then you can't take Jimmy Haslam at his word because they did better.
They did better.
Right.
They're gonna do just enough to improve.
Well, anyways, I'll be watching the Browns-Buffalo game on Sunday for some fucking reason. All right, let's. Can we just stop? I wanted to talk about the Cavs. They suck. They lost by 100 tonight to Chicago. That's awesome. But I'll do a recap right after this show. Let's get out of here for episode 294. I feel like this was a Festivus episode.
Yeah.
There was a lot. It started real high with Mecca Don doing his preview. That was a blast. There was a lot of airing of grievances with Aaron Portzline and the Columbus Blue Jackets. We aired some grievances in that conversation, and they needed to be aired. And then we aired our grievances through Asshole of the Week and through the Browns conversation. This was the Festivus episode. We're just going to call this the Festivus episode.
There's things to look forward to coming up. You got college football championship. You have the Brown season ending. You have the Olympics coming up. Like, there's some exciting things happening over the next weeks here. So, this is the airing of the grievances. And then we're getting right back to it.
Bam. Let's go.
Bam.
All right, let's do our cheers of the week and get out of here. I went last on the last 2, so let me start first on this one. Listen, I know no free ads, but now we can officially talk about it. I left my job of nearly 14 years, and I'm taking a new job in January. And I want to give a shout out today because I had a great experience today. And so no free ads, but we're going to give one quick free ad to the fine folks at Avon Lake Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
Okay.
I know it's a weird thing.
All right.
I know it's a weird thing. For the last nearly 14 years of my life, though, I've had a fleet vehicle. I haven't had to buy a car. I haven't had to think about a car. I just get fleet vehicles. But I leave this job. My new job doesn't have fleet vehicles because I don't have to travel, thank the Lord. And I had to go buy a car. And I went to buy a car today, and it was the easiest. I've been through the car buying process. I've been through that process. You know when you pull into a car dealership and the sales guys flock to the windows like they're begging to escape? And you're like, God, I don't even want to walk into this place. I went and bought a car, and they didn't ask me what kind of upgrades I wanted. They weren't like, you should do this package or that package. They were just like, what do you want? And I was like, I want this. And they were like, cool, this is what it costs. And I was like, can you do better? And they were like, yeah, here's a little bit better. And I was like, cool, I'll take that car. And they were like, sweet, here's the paperwork. And I bought a car.
Nice.
It was,
What'd you get?
I know it's a little bit goofy.
A Kia
But
Soul.
No,
You
but
look like
I-
a Kia Soul guy.
I have wanted one of these, and Patrick, this is Patrick's car that he desperately wanted me to get. I bought a sweet Jeep Wrangler,
Oh,
like the 4-door. It's got leather seats, heated seats. The whole top comes off in the summer. I was very excited for it, and that's what I went and bought. And yeah, it was great. So I just want to give a cheers to the guys that took care of us, that didn't do the whole like, well, you got to put this on, you got to put that. It's not a Rubicon. I saw that from Gregory. It's actually the Sahara, which is like, it's like the city version of a Wrangler, to be honest. But that's the one I got, and it is sick as hell. So I just want to give them a shout out because they took care of us. Anyways,
All right.
Joe, cheer of the week.
I didn't think of one, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't have one either.
Yeah.
Happy Festivus, everybody.
Yeah, there we go.
The Browns just got me down, man.
A lot of problems with you people.
You know what? I will cheers selfishly my fantasy team for earning the shit out of that first round bye, because I would have lost to every single team that played this week in the winners bracket.
I will give my secondary cheers to Chad. Chad beat my ass in the
Belt
playoffs.
to ass.
Yeah. Chad's team. Chad came into the playoffs on like a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, I was surprised I made it, to be honest with
He
you.
put up like 200 points. I didn't have a shot. I would have beat every other
You would have
team.
beat everybody else.
Yes.
Right?
And I had Trevor Lawrence on the bench. He scored 58 points. It still wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
Wow.
That was my solace in my loss to you, was that no matter what I did, it wouldn't have mattered.
Wouldn't have mattered. Yeah.
So shout out to you, Chad.
Let's go.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. Pat Shea, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Sean, Happy Holidays to you and your family. Everybody, listen, again, next week we are going to put out a show, but it's not going to be a live stream. We're not coming on live on Christmas Eve. Go hang out, drink, play games, open presents, whatever. But we will put out a show. The week after that, we probably are not going to put out a show. So we may be 2 weeks or 3 weeks again until our next live stream. But we'll keep you posted. Go follow the show at The Garage Beers on the socials. That's kind of where we'll tell you where we're going to go. Again, as we build towards episode 300, we're working on that, getting you an amazing episode 300. So stay tuned for those announcements as well. As we get out of here, let me just say our thank yous. First of all, thank you to our special guest tonight, Mecca Don, coming in and doing the playoff preview. Hopefully his suggestions are right, because A, he gives my Aggies a win, and B, he's got Ohio State going to the national championship again. If that's right, it's going to be a great time here in Ohio for college football. So shout out to Mecca Don. Also, shout out to Aaron Portzline, covering the Blue Jackets from their inception, coming on and talking hockey with us. He was awesome. Big shout out to Aaron Portzline from The Athletic coming on and joining us. Shout out to the OBR for hosting us. Get over to the OBR.com, hit subscribe, and become a part of Cleveland's oldest, largest independent Browns coverage site. You don't want to miss out on that community. So get over to the OBR.com and hit subscribe. And our last thank you goes out to all of you, man. I love the happy holidays, the happy New Year's, everything coming through right now. Our comment section is normally a very great place. And tonight it was a very great place. So shout out to all of you. If you didn't catch us live, remember you can catch us on demand on YouTube or Twitch, or you can catch us on the podcast. But we really appreciate you. We love you. And we wish you guys all a Merry Christmas, even though we'll talk to you next year. Happy New Year, all that. And just enjoy the holiday season. That's going to do it for episode 294. For Joe over there in Seattle, for Chad on the east side of Cleveland, I'm Michael Keefe, and this is Tinsel, who got placed here in the podcast room, and I can't touch her. So that's super exciting. That's going to do it for episode 294. We'll see you next week for episode 295. Until then, as always, cheers, everybody.